Got your one undefeated team, that's Michigan State. You got a bunch of teams ranked. So who is the best team in the Big Ten right now? And Jalen, why is it the University of Michigan Wolverines?
It's not them.
Okay.
Even though I'm a season ticket holder and I'm an alum and I hope it could be them one day, it's Michigan State. Because when you start talking about who are the top scoring teams in the Big Ten, it's trouble for the rest of the league if Michigan State is scoring the ball because you know Tom Izzo is going to make sure they play physical defensively. So right now I have to give the edge to the Spartans.
Yeah, I think right now they're a team that can sneak their way into the Final Four. I mean, they're deep. Coach Izzo talks about strength in numbers. He talked about it after last game, and that's what they do. I mean, they didn't play particularly well against Illinois, but they found a way to get it done through their nine-man rotation. But don't sleep on Purdue. They're right there knocking on the doorstep of Michigan State. They got a big three-game homestand coming up, and I think they got the best point guard in college. Not NBA guy, but for college basketball, Braden Smith. And they've won games just recently, and they've shot the ball poorly from three. So they found ways to win on the defensive end.
Yeah, it's tough to figure out the Big Ten sometimes because you have now Michigan State ranked in the top 10, but they've had a ton of teams that have been in that 15 to 25 range. You got Illinois there. You got Purdue, as you talk about. You got Wisconsin in that group, too. So many teams are solid here.
And Michigan. And there's a good chance that the Big Ten Player of the Year actually plays for the Wolverines and Wolf, the way he's been playing, getting his double-doubles, flirting with triple-doubles on a nightly basis. So, again, as you mentioned, very deep conference. There's going to be a lot of intrigue.
Yeah, and it's going to be fun over these next few weeks because eventually we'll get some separation. And I'm telling you, there's a lot of intrigue on who's going to win the Big Ten because there's going to be multiple teams, obviously. You're talking trying to get 10, 11 teams.
You still think 10 or 11?
They possibly, but you start beating each other up. That could hurt the metrics. Yeah. But the other intrigue is which teams are going to even make the Big Ten tournament because that makes them – that's a big deal for coaches and programs as well, too. So there's going to be a lot of intrigue, but I think there'll be some separation as we get going here over these next couple of weeks because you're in the heat of the conference schedule.
Jalen, real quick, what do you think the West Coast teams have found out about the Big Ten this year?
Well, I was actually calling the UCLA game when Michigan played out there, and one of the things that I noticed is that the size of the Wolverines gave them real problems, playing 2 7-footers, golden inside, shooting jump hooks, dunking, being physical. So that's something that I think the West Coast teams have now had to adjust to when they start coming to the Midwest and start playing this kind of ball in the winter.